Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cheap Haass. This is episode 24. In this episode, we are going to Mexico City. All right, so heading into the final rounds of the race, we have 3 inspection parts that just failed. So we're going to replace all of these for car 1, which is Teo Porcher's car. All right, so getting ready for the Mexican Grand Prix, we are going to do basically the same strategy, just with 2 different compounds at the start. We're just going to let Pillow just extend the first stint a little bit longer, just so we're not having both cars having to pit around the same lap. It's going to be close for Porcher to just make that strategy work. 14th and 15th is where we qualified. Looks like somebody got a grid penalty that affected us. We've not had great qualifying efforts as of late, so that was a decent little change of pace there, getting both cars into Q2. But yeah, we're going to move on to the start of the Mexican Grand Prix.
We're nearly ready to get started here. 71 laps, 17 turns. It's the Mexico City Grand Prix. I suspect that we'll all be closely following Charles Leclerc in this one.
Well, they're in P7, so not necessarily where they'd like to be. Could be a challenge, all right.
Here we go. It's time to go racing. What will happen next? We're about to find out at the Mexico City Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
All right, so decent start for Porcher. We're up to 12th, but we're not even in the first corner yet. A lot of movement there out of the pack. Remember to put on the ERS battle assist for both these guys. We're going to let Pillow push on his tires. Hopefully it's not a pace thing. It's going to come and bite us. We're going to look at... we're currently on Pillow. Or no, we're not. All right, we're going to jump on board with Mr. Teo Porcher. We're getting overtaken there. There's a yellow flag. What was that for? For Sonoda. Sonoda's dropped all the way back to 20th. We're in 14th and 15th at the moment. All right, let's keep an eye on Pillow's tires. All right, now that we're still like right within that range of DRS, we're gonna put both of them on deploy. Another yellow flag there. It's for Sonoda, so Sonoda's having a fun time in the back by himself. All right, we're going 4 times here just to kind of get going here. Are we in the DRS? Are we going to get the DRS? We have Bottas and DeFries. They're kind of right there on that cusp of getting points for this race, so that's be troublesome. Even though they're not close enough to us to cause a problem, they're going to still be in contention here. So we are looking at... We're trying to keep an eye on Pillow's tires. They're both getting DRS right now. We're within a couple tenths of Bottas. We're going to put both of them onto neutral. We're going to go a little 8 times here because I want this to not be extremely long. All right. Minding the gap. All right. Tires on Pillow's car are getting overheated. Look ahead of us. It looks like Porcher, or not Porcher. That is Bottas and DeFries side by side. So we get DRS off of them. All right. 8 times speed through this corner of the racetrack. All right, Porcher dropped out of DRS zone, or maybe not. No, we weren't even on the straightaway yet, so we're just being stupid. George Russell looks like he was the guy that had the grid penalties. He's moved ahead of us now. Porcher is still barely holding on to the DRS. Is actually not in the DRS as I bumped my bike like an idiot. All right, what do we need to do here? Deploy. We're going to go 8 times here. We're going to see if Porsche even closes up while doing that, as George Russell gets ahead of us. We're just going to push a little bit to stay with him. It'll help Porsche with the DRS there. Is there a caution flag? It's for Blow. Blow's all the way down in 17th now. So we're going to extend Pelot's stint. I don't really see a reason to have him sit here and kind of use his stuff up. We're going to put both of them onto neutral, let them charge up their DRS just a little bit, or ERS. Sonoda's just all by himself in the back there. Joe gets by Pelot. Porsche all by himself, gets passed by Albon. It doesn't even look like we're able to bounce back onto freeze all that much either. So we're going to try to keep an eye on them. We're letting Pelot push just a little bit on his tires. But it does not look like it's serving them well. Yeah, we're slowly starting to drop off of the freeze with Porsche. Which is annoying. We're just about to overheat the tires here, so we're going to put Porsche low. Let's just keep an eye on or see what they're doing. Alright, so you can see Porsche ahead is going to get DRS off of Albon, so that's going to be helping them a little bit there. We are right behind Guan Yu Zhou with Alex Pelot. So we're going to be here, see if we can do anything with the DRS. Alrighty. Does not work. We're going to let Pelot go on deploy, actually. Do this part of the lap. As we see Norris pitting. Cher gets by. And I need to be on 2 times. Hopefully we're behind and we can still get the DRS here at the line, and we do. Alright, we need to gap a little bit here or we're going to get re-overtaken on the front straightaway. But we do not. We're going to get overtaken here. Alright, we're going to go neutral now because we need to save some of our ERS. We're going to go a little 8 times here. You see Ocon, Stroll, these guys pitting ahead of us that are now going to be a pit stop ahead. Porsche's in 14th. We got Albon in front pitting. We're in our pit window for Mr. Porsche. It's like, I would assume if everyone's pitting this lap, that means they're probably going to be doing a 2-stop. Alright, fastest lap for Ocon. Norris, who had pitted, is now ahead of us. I think, Porsche. Alright, we're going to pit him this time, and we're going to put him on hards.
Load in, boxing this lap.
Go aggressive on the tires. There's the yellow flag. What was that for? Oh, it's for Lance Stroll. We're going to go standard. Just trying to turn the DRS off. DRS. Alright, so we're going to jump to Polo. We're going to do a little 8 times here. We're going to watch before Porsche comes out. So Porsche is going to come out in 17th place. Not where we want to be. Go aggressive on the tires just to kind of get them open. We're going to ignore the optimal pit lap. We're going to have Mr. Porsche. Needs to sit on top up for a minute. Yeah, we're going to pit Polo when Polo's tires hit about 35%. Actually, we'll, yeah, alright, then we're gonna put Porsche on a standard, and we're gonna pit Polo at the end of this lap. Pit options, we're gonna pit onto the hards. Alright. So Polo comes out in 18th. I'm actually liking his strategy maybe a little bit better than Porsche's. I know there's about 11 seconds between the two of them, so I probably take that back. Yeah, we're just gonna let Polo go aggressive and see if they can pull up kind of any gaps that they have. Man, Tsunoda's just having a dumpster fire of a race. What's that for?
Oh, we've had a crash.
Sorry.
It's so overdramatic.
And for the crew watching on.
Alright. Yeah, we're starting to use our battery too much. We're gonna go on standard. Yeah, and we're just gonna let him ride this out to the end of the race. If we have any tires left for them, we're gonna have both of them just kind of sit on top up for a minute. Alright. Neutral. And neutral. So in the points at the moment, we have Stroll just in there, so we need Stroll to actually not hit the wall again, because Norris would get points. We're just going to sit here, I guess, and wait and see if anybody does another pit stop. Yeah, I think we're going to need a kind of a miracle again to be able to really do anything. As Polo's ERS is not harvesting really anything at all. So it's about 28 laps remaining. Yeah, I think we're going to go 16 times just to see if we can wait and see when anything happens. We're going to keep an eye on if anybody pits as we see Ocon pitting. Alright, 16th and 19th as we see Albon pitting. Albon's going to be about 10 seconds behind Porsche. You see more cars in front pitting. Porsche is not going to get ahead of them, so that's really not good for our strategy. You can see there that Albon is closing in very, very slowly on us. We're going to actually jump this down to about 4 times. How are we looking with our tires? I think we need to not push it with Porsche as much as we might want to. We see Pelot is going to get ahead of Guan Yu Zhou. There's a issue on the racetrack. What was that for? Alright, 16 times. Looks like we're holding steady with Albon. What tire is Albon on? Okay, Albon's on the medium, so hopefully that you get to a certain point and they're just kind of starting to fall apart a little bit. We are going to start going a little aggressive with Pelot as Pelot runs wide. That's awesome, buddy. Alright, now we're going to go back to neutral with him. Go 16 times here. Cars are not built to do what they used to do. Alright, so Zhou gets ahead of Below. We're going to have Porsche harvest for a little bit because he's got Albon right behind him. We're going to jump on board with Porsche here. Oh, he's in the DRS too. That's not good. Alright, we're going to conserve our fuel too because I haven't been paying attention to that either. Yeah, so we're going to conserve our fuel for the rest of this race and hopefully we don't run out of fuel by the end of it. We might run out of fuel. Yeah, we're definitely gonna run out of fuel. Well, if we're gonna run out of fuel, might as well watch it. Okay, we went a little aggressive with the amount of fuel we took out of the car, and then, yeah, we're gonna immediately regret it.
Crosses the line first. He's taken the win.
Yeah, I go through these patches of where I play the game for a minute, and then I don't play the game, and then when I don't play the game, I forget things, which are very important. Like making sure you have enough fuel. But look pretty close to the finish here. So hopefully we can make it. As we do see that Pelot had finished, so that's good. So we do squeak it out on fuel, so that's at least something.
Well, that was a truly awful day at the office for the Haas driver.
Well, I think most people expected them to really deliver here, but it's a disappointing finish outside the points.
And with that, the Sainz name remains engraved in F1 history.
The third win of the season has to leave them and the team feeling confident.
Alright, so good finish there for Carlos Sainz. So your podium is Sainz, Alonso, Leclerc. Leclerc is going to close up a little bit on Verstappen, but only 3 points. We look down at the bottom there. Lando Norris gets in the points, so that is not good for us. I scared myself with how much fuel we had left, and we finished 16th and 19th, as our car has absolutely fallen off pace completely. Hopefully we can make some sort of a bounce back for next season, but that is not a guarantee. Speaking of the driver's title, you can see here Max Verstappen on top. Still ahead of Leclerc, about 35 points difference between the two of them. So really not close enough for Leclerc to get there, but still he's mathematically within a chance of getting there. You know, if Max DNFs out of 2 races or something and he can win both of them, then he's going to be ahead by 15 points. But we have about 5 races left because we also have a sprint race to do as well. For us, you can see Norris, who was initially just ahead of Porsche, is now ahead of Albon. So now we still stay where we are in the constructors, but Lando, I think it takes McLaren ahead of Williams. The constructors pretty set in stone. Ferrari have been closing down massively these last couple races. I don't think they're going to get there, but, you know, it's still mathematically within a shot. They're within 100 points, so it's not impossible. You look down at the bottom, McLaren are now ahead of Williams. That has no effect on us because we are already down in 8th, which is way below expectation. All right, so another race where we finish outside of the points. We got a couple races left to go. We have the sprint next week at Brazil. We need good luck to go our way. Hopefully some wet weather, maybe some big massive pileups. That would be great that we don't get involved in, please. Yeah, so hopefully we can have a good time out in Brazil. We're just kind of slogging it out to the end of the season. We'll also be talking about some driver contract stuff and some staff contract stuff coming up in the next couple weeks. So hopefully those end up being for our benefit and we can kind of go into next season with a good positive step in the right direction. And yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. Have a good rest of your week and peace.